Alright guys, welcome back to another Wuthering Waves update video. For today's video, we'll be talking about should you pull on Galbrena and QIUYAN with their latest official drip marketing, giving us confirmation on their release dates in the 2.7 version update. So to properly determine their value, let's go over all we know about them, like their early kit info and how they should be looking in gameplay. We have QIUYAN, that seems like a pretty solid sub DPS support hybrid that can buff both crit damage and echo skill, and on the other hand we have Galbrena, which looking like a pretty amazing main DPS character that does a massive amount of heavy attack and echo skill damage. So let's check out both their kits in this video, and then at the end discuss should you be pulling on these characters. Also, before we get into it, if you guys do enjoy the videos, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and put those notifications on for more official wuwa updates right here on the channel. But alright, let's get right into it. First off, let's start off with QIUYAN's kit, all we know about this character. With the new info, QIUYAN is looking like a heavy attack damage dealer with the role of a sub DPS. And from the looks of it, he's going to be providing some pretty good buffs to the team, such as crit damage buffs, and on top of that, he's also going to be buffing echo damage, the first echo damage buffer in the entire game. So he's looking like quite the character. Let's read over his early new kit preview that just came out to get a better look at what he's all about. Alright, so pulling up the early kit info, first thing we have is his basic attack. His basic attack, pretty simple, performs up to 3 consecutive attacks, dealing arrow damage. And then we have his heavy attack, consumes stamina to attack the target, dealing arrow damage. Next up, we have his dodge counter. Within a certain time after performing basic attack or heavy attack, tapping or pressing normal attack upon being attacked by the enemy triggers a dodge counter against the target, dealing arrow damage. And if you guys are in need of lunites for the exciting incoming characters, check out this top-up website called Loot Bar. Loot Bar nearly provides 21% off compared to the official in-game purchases. New users can even obtain a 10% off coupon by using my link in the description. And here's how I got 6,480 lunites for $75 instead of the in-game price of nearly $100. You go to the top-up section, proceed to checkout from the wide variety of payment options, and then provide the account info. Within 3 minutes, the purchase will be completed. The double top-ups are also included, and you can even become a VIP member to obtain various discount coupons. They even have excellent ratings on the Trustpilot website. Loot Bar also has you covered for the 6.0 Genshin update. Check out the link in the description and pin comment down below to save with Loot Bar. Next up, we have his resident skill called Undaunted Wayfarer. Hold resident skill to have QIUYAN leap into the air and dash forward, stepping on bamboos along the way. Releasing resonance skill makes QIUYAN strike a nearby target, dealing arrow damage. This attack is considered as heavy attack damage. Then we have the Sundering Strike, which deal arrow damage to the target within the range. Now, for every percentage of QIUYAN's crit rate over a certain percentage, the skill increased the crit damage of all resonators in a team by a certain amount. We don't have the exact multipliers yet, but all we know is he'll be buffing the crit damage of all the resonators on your team, which if it's a high amount, then it would be pretty cracked. But I'd say any amount is still pretty useful because in the end, his main gimmick is probably the echo damage buffs. Alright, next up here we have when QIUYAN is in a certain state, he obtains a certain effect, casting a bunch of different skills that will then amplify heavy attack damage by a certain amount and restore concerto energy on hit. This effect ends when QIUYAN is switched out or when the inverse of spirit state ends, probably his forte gauge. Then next up we have Drink Away the Sentiment. When casting an echo skill, QIUYAN Bamboo Jug absorbs overflowing energy and brews into Mind's Cure. The next time he enters a certain state, I believe the Chinese translations are the state that he has 2 states, and for this case, when he enters it, consume Mind Cure to gain resonance energy. This effect has a cooldown as well, it's not specified. Alright, next up, the next move is attack the target, dealing arrow damage. After casting intro skill, you can tap or press normal attack to perform Bend Not Break and another move in sequence. Then we have when QIUYAN holds a certain point in the state, he gains Green Shade effect, allowing all resonators in the team to gain echo skill damage bonus for a certain amount of time. So there it is, his echo damage buffs. All he needs to do is acquire a certain amount of points in one of his stages. And now next up we have the inverse of spirit. When QIUYAN Forte is full, QIUYAN enters inverse of spirit state for a certain amount of seconds. In this state he consumes it by holding normal attack to perform a certain move, pretty long move dealing arrow damage, considered a heavy attack damage. Perform to teach to save to sacrifice is considered as powerful echo skill damage, and inverse of spirit ends when swordsters is all used up. Again, still just a small kit preview. Now this one I'm pretty sure this is his outro skill. Attacks all target in range, dealing arrow damage equal to 200% of QIUYAN's attack, considered heavy attack damage. This skill amplifies the next incoming resonator echo skill damage by a certain amount. Switching to another resonator ends this effect, so we can additionally buff echo skill damage with his outro skill, so this character is looking pretty interesting. So QIUYAN seems to be a heavy attack damage dealer, so he has echo damage buffing and crit damage buffing with 2 states and a bunch of enhanced attacks that put him in these 2 states. His skill deals heavy attack damage and give him mid-air attacks, and for his ultimate will be giving buffs to the team, crit damage, and does a good amount of damage as well. His talent is going to increase the echo damage that he does, and additionally, he will also be gaining resonance energy when using a echo skill. And lastly, his outro skill does heavy attack damage and will buff the echoed skill damage of the oncoming resonator. Now going back to Galbrena, as Galbrena is looking like a pretty amazing character that deals heavy attack damage. And on top of that, she also has some attacks that count as echo skill. She can attack an enemy with multiple types of skill, increasing their own damage by a certain amount. And she also has a specific state when she utilizes teammates' echo skills to gain stacks, as well as the use of different Galbrena skills. So she seems like a very interesting character, and since we have the early kit preview, let's go over it in this video and see what she's all about. Alright, so pulling up a good kit breakdown and explanation of the latest info, this kit breaks down into several sections like the basic attack, heavy attack, her resonance aberration, inherent skill, outro skill, things that the original kit did not specify, so we'll make it a lot clearer. Starting off with her basic attack. So Galbrena can perform up to 4 consecutive attacks. The final hit, the heavy attack, deals significant damage. So with her final basic attack hit is going to be doing some pretty big numbers. Next up we have Sinful Flames. This is Galbrena's special ability. She can hold up to 100 stacks of this flame. Basic attack, heavy attacks, and resonance skill all generate the Sinful Flames. So this is how you fill it up to gain all the needed stacks for when you want to use her resonance aberration, which will then consume these stacks to increase her damage. This gives a good picture of what her gameplay is going to be. You want to be using a bunch of basic attack, heavy attacks, and resonance skill to all generate these Sinful Flames and then boost the damage of her ultimate when the gauge is full. Next up we got the resonance skill called Encroach. This is an attack that involves a forward leap following a backward leap. It deals damage and of course generates the Sinful Flames. We got the other resonance skill called Hellstrike. This is a follow-up to the first one that consumes Sinful Flames for an enhanced attack. If she has enough flames, she can replace her basic attack with a stronger one, which is called Hellstrike. Galbrena also has an enhanced mid-air attack, which is after a basic attack, she can perform a mid-air attack that consumes Sinful Flames. Additionally, she has an enhanced evasion attack. If she successfully dodges an attack, she can perform an enhanced evasion attack, which includes other skills and abilities. Alright, then here we have the Demonic Overload. This is her main mechanic. She enters this state after using a resonance aberration. So there we have it. She does have a transformation mechanic. She enters a special state to enhance herself. Her basic attacks and resonance skills are replaced with more powerful versions. These new versions are called Seraphic Execution and Pyro Slash. So there we have it, her main mechanic. She is going to be a transforming character upon the ultimate. Alright, next up we have the resonance aberration called Afterflame. This is her ultimate ability that makes her enter the Demonic Overload state, the state that we just read, and her next attack consume all her Sinful Flames to increase their damage. She can even exit this state at will. Next up, the Inherent Skill. So Inherent Skill, these are passive bonuses that permanently increase her damage and give her additional effect. So I guess we don't have the exact multipliers or bonuses that the Inherent Skill provide yet, but all we know is that it'll be giving her more damage a higher damage increase, and additional effects. Once we get the full kit, I'm sure that will be revealed. But for now, this is just a small kit preview to see how her gameplay is going to work. Next up, Burning Drive. This is a bonus to her resonance skill. If she has enough resonance energy, she can then get boost to her damage. Then we also have the Sinful Fury, which is also something else that she gains. This is a bonus to her resonance aberration. When she casts it, she gets an immediate boost to her damage. So basically a lot of different effects that will allow her to do a lot more damage. Truly seem like the role of a main DPS with all the damage that she might be getting from all these different effects. Again, we don't have the multipliers, so we don't know how much damage she's going to do, but so far she seems like a pretty interesting character. Alright, lastly we have the Hellfire Aberration. This is a bonus that increases the damage of her resonance skill and resonance aberration. So another damage boost to resonance aberration and skill. Depending on the multiplier boost, she could be doing a ton of damage, possibly one of the highest DPS that we've ever seen in the game. So in short, Galbrena seems like a pretty strong fire gun main DPS character who then relies on building up stacks and acquiring something called Sinful Flames with her basic attack and resonance skill, so she can then consume it to additionally boost her basic attack and resonance skill, and on top of that, use her resonance aberration to enter a powerful state called Demonic Overload, which is going to be her special form with fiery wings. To do a lot more damage, she will consume the Sinful Flames to greatly increase the damage of all her attacks. But yeah guys, this is the full info that we have on QIUYAN and Galbrena for now, just a early kit preview, so this is not going to reflect the launch, but still gives us a good picture of what they're all about. For their value, always pull for what you need. If you need a solid main DPS, then you will want to go for Galbrena, and if you need a hybrid sub DPS support. And the good thing about this is both of these characters will work together, as QIUYAN being a crit damage and echo skill buffer will be really good alongside Galbrena in the sub DPS slot. So if you are planning to pull both, then these two will work really good together. But if you only want one character, then if you're looking for a main DPS and you have characters like Lupa, Brant, even Yuno to buff heavy attack or infusion damage on Galbrena, then you'll want to go for her. And if you are looking for a character that can buff echo skill damage and provide pretty good damage, and in turn a pretty good pro for this character, Izzy's our first male character in a very long time. So if you want a male character that gives echo skill damage to, let's say, Frolova or Galbrena, then this character would be for you. He's also a support that provides crit damage, so he can additionally go on many other teams, not just tied to echo skill teams. But yeah guys, I'm sure once we get the full kit, it'll be a lot easier to determine the proper value of these characters, but for now, this is all we know on these characters with the early kit preview. And if you guys did enjoy, like the video, subscribe, put the notifications on. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.